Hi, everyone, and welcome to the athletics session of the UMaine Farmington 2020 Virtual Open House. Thank you for joining us today. I'd like to start off with some introductions. I'm Sean Russell, a senior admissions counselor and the snowboard free ski coach at UMF. I'm also a 2016 graduate of the business economics program. I'd now like to send it over to Andrew Willihan.
Hi, I'm Andrew Willihan. I'm the assistant snow sports director and head men's and women's alpine coach. I'm also a graduate from the University of Farmington in 2006 with a degree in education.
Hi, I'm Molly Wilkie. I'm the head women's soccer coach at UMF, and I'm a 2006 graduate with a degree in psychology.
Hey there, I'm Sean Cabanis. I'm the head cross country and track and field coach at UMF. I'm also a 2016 graduate of Farmington with a degree in education and mathematics.
My name's Callie Hammer. I'm a junior special education major. I have a minor in coaching. I'm a member of the women's soccer and softball team, and I'm from Ellsworth, Maine.
Hi, my name is Riley Robinson. I'm a senior at the University of Maine at Farmington, business econ major, and I played 4 years on the men's basketball team.
Awesome. Now that we've circled the room, I'd like to get started on some questions. The first question is for you, Molly. Many prospective students don't know what we offer for varsity and club sports. Can you name all the sports we offer at UMF and also explain the difference between varsity and club sports?
Sure, we offer a wide range of varsity and club sports. In the fall, we offer men's and women's cross country, men's and women's soccer, field hockey, golf, and there's men's and women's rugby and ultimate disc as well. In the winter, we have a whole snow sports program that includes men's and women's alpine, men's and women's Nordic skiing, and men's and women's free ski and snowboard, as well as men's and women's basketball and men's and women's indoor track. And in the spring, we have softball, baseball, women's lacrosse, and men's and women's outdoor track, along with a spring season for rugby and ultimate disc as well. And the main difference between the varsity athletics and club sports is that the club sports are student-led and student-run, and a little bit more flexible time-wise. Some of them still compete against outside competition as the varsity sports do, and some are in-house. We also have a cheering and a dance team that do a lot of events on campus.
Awesome. Thanks, Molly. That was perfect. It was a lot of sports. Now this one's for you, Riley. What's it like to be a student athlete at UMF and compete at the D3 level?
Being an student athlete at UMF really forces you to manage your time well. Between the classroom and the demands of your respective athletic team, you have to manage your time well or you will not succeed. The other thing playing a sport at University of Maine at Farmington does, it provides an opportunity to build connections with team members. This can be a little difficult going into your first year of college. So, just having a team, having somewhat of a support system, almost a family away from home, can really help you make the transition into college. As far as the difference between high school athletics and college athletics, it's a much larger commitment at the Division III level. You have weekend-long road trips as well as couple hour-long road trips during the week, which really forces you to get that homework done on time. And the other aspect of D3 is very competitive. I think people don't understand the competitiveness of Division III at times, but it's definitely a significant step up from high school.
Riley, that was perfect. Definitely agree with all those points. I'm going to send this question over to you, Andrew. At UMF, we're pretty unique in that we offer collegiate alpine skiing, Nordic skiing, and a snowboard free ski team, and how we have access to many ski resorts nearby. Can you give some info into the division that we compete for snow sports and what our training venues look like?
Yep. USCSA, United States Collegiate Ski and Snowboard Association, is one of the largest collegiate ski organizations in the country. We're a part of, obviously, the Eastern region. The Eastern region for USCSA is the largest region in the entire U.S. You'd have to combine the rest of the U.S. regions to just come even close to how big we are in the East. We at Farmington compete in two different divisions. We compete in Reynolds and we can compete in Katahdin. Reynolds incorporates alpine, snowboard freeride, and Katahdin incorporates our Nordic skiing. What's great about where we are here at Farmington is that we're at the gateway of some of the best skiing and riding in the Northeast. Within 1 hour, you have 5 resorts from Farmington, all of which offer unique, different types of terrain. And we're really fortunate to have great relationships with each one of those resorts. And our varsity skiers and riders go there a lot. I think that because that we're so close, we're able to spend a lot of time on snow. Other universities have to travel hours to get to training. We get to travel 5 minutes because we have a great resort in town called Tickham. It has 2 surface lifts. It allows for a 50-gate slalom course, an occasional GS, and it has an amazing park that our riders use and design. The great thing about Tickham is it also supports our Nordic program, where Nordic skiers are able to go there and be able to ski whether the mountain's open or not. The great thing about Tickham Nordic is that say you have a late practice and you have to go at night, you can press a button at a kiosk and the lights turn on for roughly 5K of Nordic skiing. This is really unique where the mountain doesn't have to be open, but you can still get your training in as a Nordic athlete. With our bigger venues like Sugarloaf and Sunday River in the area, these are World Cup levels hills, NORAM levels hill, and offer really challenging terrain for our alpine athletes. What's great about Sugarloaf is that you have the same. You have unbelievable park riding. You have a great border cross course and skier cross course for our skiers and riders, as well as a 50K Nordic venue at Sugarloaf that's really special. Both Sunday River and Sugarloaf also offer great programs that we get to train with. For instance, there's other colleges that we train with, they're able to pace with. Not a lot of schools get to do that, and that's really special about Farmington.
Andrew, that was awesome. I couldn't have said it any better than that. I think we're definitely lucky to have the snow that we have and the resorts that we have nearby. All right, Callie, turn it over to you. Many athletes play multiple sports in high school and are involved in other clubs and organizations and may want to continue to be involved in college. Can you talk about what it's like to play multiple sports at the college level and being involved in clubs and orgs?
Yeah, playing multiple sports in college has given me the opportunity to meet so many friends, along with giving me the chance to create many extra memories that will last a lifetime. Not only allowing me to create friendships with teammates, having the 2 different coaching staffs, I have created relationships with people I can trust, and that help make me a better person on and off the field. Being involved comes naturally to me. It gives me the chance to use organization and responsibility skills. Time management has also been my best friend because I sure am busy, but I really wouldn't have it any other way. I was always involved through high school and always enjoyed being a part of something. So taking on 2 sports and being a part of the student athlete advisory committee felt right and has allowed me to continue being the leader I enjoy being. I guess being a part of 2 sports and involved in clubs and organizations has given me a sense of normalcy when getting to college, and I encourage anyone else to do the same.
That's awesome, Callie. It's a lot on your plate, but I think you handle it really well, and it sounds like it's definitely a benefit to you. Speaking of benefits, Riley, this one's for you. What are the benefits you've had in being involved in athletics at UMF?
I'd say the major benefit of being a student athlete at UMF is the sense of support and the friend group you can develop within your team. Like I mentioned before, going to college it's a stressful time. There's a lot of change. So it's great to have, like I said before again, almost a family away from home with your sports team where you guys are going through the same issues together, having the same struggles, and it's much easier to go through it with somebody else by your side.
It's awesome. I know I had that experience when I played baseball for a while at UMF, and some of my teammates are some of my best friends now. Next question's for you, Callie. Many of our student athletes also major in education at UMF. Can you talk about your experience in handling the structure of the ed program and playing a varsity sport?
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about the education program is the real classroom experience that I've gotten being in practicum and advanced practicum, and I'm looking forward to student teaching. They really give you a hands-on experience that you might not get at a bigger school. Small class size, and we're all there for the same reason, is to be a teacher. My professors have gone above and beyond for me finishing work on time or not, I guess, being an athlete. They really understand that things come up and we might be on the road for a weekend, and they're really understanding, and that's probably that's another good thing. Professors are always there for me.
That's great. I know we have, I think 40% of our students are in one ed program or another, so definitely a high population, and I know the coaches really work well at being flexible with the structure of that program. All right, Molly, swinging it back over to you. Students often wonder how practices and games will work with their school schedules. Can you speak to how you schedule your practices and work with students' academic commitments?
Sure. Every season's a little bit different in terms of ability to schedule if you're inside or outside sport and what the weather's like. But I can say that all the coaches work really, really hard to schedule practices so that that our student athletes missed practice time and class time is kept to a minimum. So the short answer is you're never going to miss class to go to practice. And I always tell our incoming student athletes, if you can never attend practice, that might be a problem, but it really never is. We want you to go to class. We want you to be successful. We encourage our student athletes to take advantage of supplemental instruction and tutoring. And I'd say we're like a secondary advisor to our student athletes in terms of helping them navigate coursework and all of that. So, we want them to be really successful academically. So we're huge supporters, and we work really hard to make it a really good balance for our student athletes.
Awesome. That's perfect. I think we were always hammered in, in high school that academics come first, and I know we continue that procedure at Farmington, so that's great. All right, Riley, kicking it over to you. In Maine, we have a long history of competitive high school basketball with packed crowds and exciting tournaments. Can you talk about your transition from high school basketball to basketball UMF and the atmosphere of playing in Dearborn?
So obviously college basketball is quite different than high school basketball, but thankfully, I came in under Coach Dick Meter, who he's one of the best kept coaches in New England history. So he was able to really help with the transformation from high school to college. And as far as the atmosphere that we played in, Dearborn Gymnasium was honestly an electric environment every single night that we had a game this year. It was max capacity most nights. I would say basically every night. I know when we hosted the playoffs, students were waiting in line for a couple hours, just to get a ticket to see the game, which really speaks to the support we have from the student body. And I really think the environment of Dearborn impacted some games this year. We were 15-2 at home this year. That's a 88.2% home winning percentage. And one of my good buddies from playing basketball growing up and everything, he went to Bates, and I was chatting with him before our game this year, and he goes, he says to me, "You guys get a pretty good crowd here?" I said, "Oh yeah, it'll be full." And he said, "Yeah, his coach talked to their whole team about it, mentioned how rowdy our crowd can be, and told them to ignore it before the game." So that's respect from a NESCAC school coming in. The coach having to take time out of his pregame speech to talk to his team about the possible effect that our crowd could have on the game.
Yeah, I definitely watching basketball games at UMF is one of my favorite things to do. And I was at that Bates game this season where you guys won, and it was definitely an electric feel, and the whole place was packed. It was pretty awesome. All right, Sean, throwing you a question. If a student athlete thinks they want to play a sport at Farmington, what should they be doing now in terms of getting ready to make that transition?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I know that this population is, for this video is for sophomores and juniors primarily. I would say that if you have any interest at all, it's important to just reach out to the coach and go on our website, our athletics website, and fill out the recruiting questionnaire for the sport that you're interested in. it's kind of hard for us to recruit if we don't actually have contact information for someone that's interested in coming to UMF. So I'd say that that's the first step, just get in contact with the coach. After that, I would say that if you're watching this video, then you're doing all the right things. You're getting information about UMF. You're trying to understand, some of the things that it takes to be a college student athlete. So keep doing that. Keep trying to get as much information as you can. And you are doing the right things by watching these videos. I'd say obviously campuses are closed right now, which is unfortunate, but once things open back up, then try to set up a visit, talk to the coach and see when would be best to come up. And, we can be flexible on trying to meet you. But I would say if you're going to come up to campus, then reach out to the coach and let them know that you're going to come and see if we can meet up. Generally speaking, I'd say that, we want to do that, obviously. And it's important to let us know that you're going to be coming to campus. And during this time right now, we still have the ability to call and do video chats if you're interested in learning more about UMF athletics. So reach out to the coach and just ask any questions. I'd say questions are the best thing that you can do right now. And take advantage of everything that you can during this. It's obviously a hard time, but there's still things that you can do to learn more about the college experience at Farmington and athletics. I'd say if you're a sophomore right now, I think that the recruiting process is going to look a lot different than if you're a junior. So you can still definitely reach out to us. But if you're a junior, then we're going to try to get in contact with you a little bit more and answer any questions that any of you have. But we'll definitely try to set up visits a lot more if you're a junior and get you to campus.
Sean, that's perfect. I completely agree. And another point I always make too, I work in admissions and I always go to the high school information sessions and college fairs. And I see all these apps come in, during the wintertime, and many of them are from students that I haven't met through a high school visit. So I definitely advocate to attend those as much as possible and make time to see the rep when they come to UMF from admissions. Well, fantastic. That's great. That's a wrap for our athletic session. Thanks for watching. Like Sean said, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. Chatting with prospective students and families is what we love to do. And stay healthy and keep in touch.